Why is the Da Vinci Code popular? Because he's written an earlier book, Angels and Demons, which has essentially the same plot, essentially the same anti-Christian slams within it, but it's not nearly so popular as this book. The major difference is how he treats sexuality. This book is centered around it, and he uses 3 Christian concepts as the base for the entire novel. He says that sex is holy, that marriage is holy, and that women are to be treated like goddesses, that is, like an image and likeness of God. In this society, which treats women badly, which forces them into abortion, forces them into contraception, treats them like blow-up dolls, women who are 80% of the book-buying market see these 3 messages in Dan Brown's novel and say, I don't care if the rest of it is wrong, this much is right.
I think many observers have discussed the phenomenon of this novel's popularity among women, and my own experience bears this out. In the radio interviews I do and so on, a great many callers who call in support of this novel are female. And it does appeal to them on a level of helping them feel that they have, as one woman said to me once, a place at the table that perhaps the institutional church they felt had denied them. And I think that's a part of the appeal. But the problem is that too many of these women have not taken the time to really explore the true nature of Christianity and the true nature of Jesus' message towards all people, which is a message of freedom. And so what is going on is good, and perhaps on one level women are having their eyes opened to the possibilities of Christianity for them. But once again, I come back to the point of based on what? Is it based on just our wishful thinking, or is it based on the truth that really is out there? Furthermore, when we look at Jesus himself, as opposed to the caricature that Dan Brown presents us with in the Da Vinci Code, what we see is a man deeply committed to breaking traditional bonds of contact between men and women. Over and over, we find Jesus judged by others because of his equal treatment of women, because of his willingness to reach out to women and to speak to them publicly in a time when that was really frowned upon. And as far as we can tell, when we look at the record of early Christianity from the letters of Paul and so on, we see that pattern of life continued. So Brown's assertion that Christianity is inherently patriarchal and prejudicial to women just, once again, is not borne out by the evidence.
Actually, at that time, the fact that any women were included in the group is significant. It was very much a patriarchal society, and so men had the say in most issues. The fact that Jesus embraces everyone, male and female, sick as well, is a new concept for that generation of people. And that actually continues through all generations, I think. The fact that he embraces all sort of people. And so Mary and Mary Magdalene being part of that inner core was truly significant for the inclusion of women, especially in Christianity.
One of the assertions that Dan Brown makes very frequently in this novel, as well as in his speaking on this novel, is that Christianity brought a suppression into the world of the worship of the goddess, of the sacred feminine. First of all, this isn't based on any kind of factual, historical evidence at all. Yes, there have been many societies that have worshipped both gods and goddesses, male and female deities, and many of those cultures continued doing so after Christianity. The second problem is that it's a perspective that completely ignores Judaism. Judaism emerged, of course, 3,000 years before Christianity, centered on a male deity, a male figure that was worshipped as God. And for Brown to ignore this is very strange, and for him to put all the blame on Christianity is strange as well. Secondly, I have to question his conclusions that somehow a society that worships both male and female deities somehow has consequences that are egalitarian, that are more just for women. This is simply not true. When you look at cultures that do worship both male and female deities, you don't find any kind of increase in the equality of women or the position of women. In fact, you might find the exact opposite, because in most situations, the entrance of Christianity into a culture has done nothing but elevate the position of women in that culture.